beautiful people. My name is Redis of Altamira, and welcome back to Final Fantasy XIV. We are just going to jump right in, picking up exactly where we left off, which I don't remember where that was, because it's been a few days between recordings. This is our little bun boy, actually looking pretty good in that armor. I like that on him. I think between this video and the next video, we're definitely going to set a goal for level 15, at least level 15. Not story level 15, but character level. That way... Oh, I forgot I'm using my controller for this playthrough. My apologies. Yes, even if you are using a controller, like I am, you can still navigate mouse and keyboard. Or at least mouse. Which is very useful when it comes to jumping puzzles, which there aren't any in the game unless you decide to do them yourselves. Alright, we need to go to the dispatch yard, which is... You don't even need to take the Aethernet, but you can just walk out here. Mimi gun here will be useful later. And Papa Sean is over here. My last video actually received a copyright notice for being on Thanalan, but there's nothing I can do about that. And hopefully it does, and hopefully it's not going to impact my channel in the future. I don't think it will, but anything can happen. Well, you certainly look the part of an adventurer, my friend. Might you be the good soul Momodi advised me to expect, I am Papa Sean, station master of this humble dispatch yard. An empty title, I assure you. I truly am no more than a tired old lalafell passing his final years in quiet and solitude. 12 no, there have been plenty of both these last 5 years since the calamity struck. The devastation was vast. Yet now true old dawns work together, doing all in our power to rebuild what was laid to ruin. By the sweat of our brows and the love of our home, we have rebuilt Ul'dah to the grandeur and majesty that you see today. The railways which run through this dispatch yard, too, were born of the noble efforts of a great many souls. But there is still much work to be done. The wounds left by the calamity run deep. Isolated areas beyond our lines of supply remain, and there are places yet wanting for relief and restoration. Ul'dah needs the aid of you and your brethren, friend. In fact, never has our need been more dire. Which brings me to the point, I suppose. I do believe I have made some work suited to one of your ability. Alright, let us take the altered thigh boots. We do have the option to take coin as our reward, but it is important that we, as a tank, keep on top of our gear so that we can hold aggro. Alright. Next quest. Nothing to see here. It's Station Master Papashan has a simple task for a fledgling adventurer. Since you've come all this way, perhaps you can perform an errand for me. Just so happens a number of sentries have been sent to guard the area. A dispatch to the dispatch yard, as it were. They have long been away from the shade and featherbeds of the city. The hot days and cold nights can play hells on the mind and body out here. It isn't much, but go and give them these twilight pretzels, would you? I find comfort food always helps when I feel like killing myself. Yes, our quest is to give food. Halt! Sir, I'm going to have to ask you to put the pretzel on the ground and place your hands above your head. State your name and business. A twilight pretzel from Papashan. By the gods, forgive me. You could say this new post has my nerves in a twist. I'm terribly sorry for that. Yes, well, you may rest assured that the dispatch yard is safe, so long as I stand watch. Please give Papashan my thanks and tell him that I only wish I could repay the favor. Man, I know how those boring guard duties go. Alrighty, where is... That's a botanist. A high-level botanist. 12 save me. Scorching days, freezing nights, the post will be the end of me. Here. Have a pretzel. From Papashan. A twilight pretzel? Don't mind if I do. Ah, now that's a refreshing goddamned pretzel. I feel reborn. Where am I going? Oh. But a question would have been, where am I? Alright, last one. Western front, clear. Eastern front, clear. Shut up and eat. From me? From Papashan? Twilight pretzel, my favorite. How did he know? Can't fight an empty stomach now, can I? Actually, I can't fight on any stomach. I suppose you could say I have no stomach for fighting. Nothing wrong with that. There is nothing wrong with that. Now to turn this into Papashan and see what else he has for me. You've returned, and with a deal fewer pretzels, I see. Tell me, how fare our Sultan's sworn sentries? Did they have anything to report? Anything at all? What? Nothing? Are you sure? Oh dear. Take this for your troubles, then, and stay a moment. There's more I would ask of you. You already have a better sword. So we are going to take the gold this time. And we got an achievement. Stick 'em with the pointy end. As well as our tank button. Which I'm going to put here. And shield bash, if I recall, is a stun. So we are going to put that there. And we unlocked our oath gauge, which is not in the place that I want it. The oath gauge here tells us when our tank stance is on and off. Actually, I need to move this somewhere where it's more easily accessible. I'll put it there. That's not where I wanted to put it, but too late now. Tap on the neck. Here's a thought, Red. Take your finger off the feckin' button. There we go. That'll work, I guess. Used to be the Paladin had used to be all the tanks had a shield stance and a DPS stance, and if you wanted to be an effective tank, you would alternate between them. Tank stance to make sure you have aggro secure and you're keeping the aggro secure, and your DPS stance when you know you have aggro secure and you don't need to worry about it, so you deal more damage. The Dark Knight was a little unique in that regard because they could keep both of them active at the same time and reap both of the benefits. But that's not exactly practical. Well, it's not a thing anymore. Redis, I have just this moment. No, the time for concealment is past. The truth is, even before I had you deliver those pretzels, I was privy to some most unsettling news. Which is the real reason I sent you to meet those Sultan Sworn. Underneath the Sultan tree, Papa Shan is in dire need of your assistance. A young noblewoman from a very prestigious family has run away from home, and I have been ordered to see to her safe return. The Sultan Sworn you met earlier are assisting with the search. Alas, it seems they have found no trace of her. I apologize for not being frank with you from the start, but we must proceed with caution. Should word of her disappearance spread, I fear others with less honorable motives may join the hunt. And should we allow her to come to any harm, not even 100 beheadings would be punishment enough. That cannot happen, Redis. It must not. I need you to help me find her. Okay. Let's go. Press the 12, I knew I could count on you. I've instructed the others to expand the search, but that land is vast, and there are only so many of us. The young noblewoman's name is Lady Lilira. I want you to go south and look for her in the vicinity of the Sultan tree. Good luck. The Sultan tree is the biggest tree over there. At least if I recall right. I'm pretty sure it is. Yeah, it is. That's about where the quest marker is pointing me. Almost big enough. Well, actually, we are probably big enough where we can take on the tortoise. But we're not going to, because we have no reason to. If I recall right, there's that path leading right up to it. Yep. I thought it was a little more hidden. Hooded Lalafell. This light means that it is a solo duty, so if ever we are in a party and we encounter one of these, we would have to leave the party and do this ourselves. And some of them can be pretty annoying. My partner spent 3 days on one of these. I might be exaggerating there. She spent at least a day on it. But yeah, they can be a little annoying and challenging if you're not paying attention. And I say that because The game will tell you what you need to do to succeed. Alright. Oh, Sultan Tree. You're about to enter an instanced battle. Instanced battles only occur during certain quests and missions. Take a moment to read the information displayed in the active help window before answering the call to duty. I have active help windows disabled because I already know what I'm doing. Especially this first one, it's actually quite easy.
Oh, Sultan Tree, hallowed spirit of my line, forgive my weakness. My failings have cost us dear. Show yourself!
As you command, O Lilira.
If you are watching this and you're a fan of Critical Role, that is in fact the voice of Taliesin Jaffe. Really does a good job in this role.
Forgive my selfish desire to assure your welfare.
I don't recall requesting an escort. Simply pretend we never met and continue on your way.
We both know I can do no such thing. It isn't safe for you here alone. It isn't safe for anyone. Not with this etheric disturbance. It's as though the dead are watching us. And I'd prefer not to join them, if it's all the same to you. Ah, you must be the one that Papa Shan mentioned. Congratulations on finding our elusive young charge. You'll have to forgive her impetuousness. What she lacks in discipline, she makes up for in stubbornness. You should return with us. The station master will be eager to thank Lady Lilira's protector in person. Alas, the station master will have to wait. Dear Lilira, for my sake, please stay out of harm's way.
Okay.
As for you, dear friend, for Lilira's sake, please stay in harm's way.
Please stay in harm's way. I like it. So right now we are level synced, which means that our level has been temporarily lowered, as well as all of our stats. This was done in theory so that everyone could feel like they were contributing to the fights, but numbers have gotten so ridiculous that that's no longer feasible. That move that the handsome stranger is using, where he glows for a second and then blinds the creature, used to be in the game, and it used to be how you would tank. But they took it out and made some improvements. And by took it out, I mean players can't access it, but NPCs still can. There's actually a lot of things. Every new expansion sees some moves getting taken away, new moves being added. How moves work being changed. It's actually quite nice because there's always something to discover about a class, even one that's been around for a long time, like the Paladin or the Gladiator. have just sometimes they get a complete rework because they're not playing how the devs would like them to play. Because the devs are required to play the game themselves, they find something isn't flowing well with the rest of everything else. And the fact that they're required to play the game is something that I actually appreciate.
Whew.
We found us a crystal.
Hear, feel, think. Crystal bearer. I am Heidelin, all made one. A light there once was that shone throughout this realm, yet it hath since grown dim. And as it hath faltered, so hath darkness risen up in its stead, presaging an end to life. For the sake of all, I beseech thee, deliver us from this fate. The power to banish the darkness dwelleth in the crystals of light. Journey forth and lay claim to them.
Yeah, that big crystal.
By thy deeds shall the crystals reveal themselves to thee. Only believe, for the light liveth in thy heart. Go now, my child, and shine thy light on all creation.
Ah, coming around now.
Would you mind telling me what that was?
If I only knew. A denizen of the void at any rate.
The void scent? Yeah, but how?
The question isn't how, but who. We're not dealing with bookless bandits. Don't suppose the answer came to you in a dream? No sooner did you fell the beast than you fell asleep. Too much ether, no doubt. Interesting. I hadn't considered the crystal. But of course, this changes everything. Oh, just thinking aloud? At any rate, we haven't a moment to spare. I must return and report this at once. I leave Lady Lilira in your capable hands.
How dare you pass me about like a swaddled babe? I shall return and tell them myself.
As you wish,
Their little
your
potato
impetuousness.
walk is adorable.
I suspect we shall meet again before long. Until then, do try and stay awake.
Back to Papa Sean. These hornets are way too chill. Also, they're way too big. Like, if a hornet that size existed, IRL, I'd never go outside. Ever. I'd be too worried about, you know, what if I just bumped into one of them? And, you know, it did that thing that hornets do and decided to try to murder me. Alright, Papa Sean, what you got? Thank the gods you've returned. You had us all so worried. You do realize what would happen if a person of your noble stature were to be injured, or worse. Why, Her Grace the Sultana would be beside herself with grief, and so would her subjects. I dare say they'd be weeping in the streets. But I have already given you cause to weep, Papa Sean, you and the people of Old Da. Please, you're not to say such things. We will find it, I swear to you. It is not my place to make demands, milady, but I beg you, please stay out of harm's way. I apologize for causing you undue worry, Papa Sean. I shall refrain from traveling unescorted in future. Making promises you won't keep. Ding. I cannot thank you enough, Redis. Understand what you fought bravely to protect Lady Lilira from voids and fiends. For your gallant service, you deserve all the riches in the royal vaults. Alas, a small token of my gratitude is the best I can offer. Alright, thank you, Papa Sean. A sarcastic man with a strange contraption strapped to his shoulder? That's not what I said, but okay. I see you met Thancred. He's a scholar who spends his days investigating oddities in the ether. Rather too fond of the sound of his own voice for my liking, but perfectly harmless. As for you, Redis, you're just the sort of adventurer we need around here. I pray you show the same kindness to the people of Thanalan, excuse me, as you did to us today. I need to remember to breathe. Oxygen is essential to literally everything humans do. Alright, that put us most of the way through level 10. And looks like CC Doa here has something for us. Step 9. We're only 5 quests in. Why is this step 9? They did cut a lot out of the main quest here in Reborn. CC Doa needs a reliable adventurer to deliver a gift to the coffer and coffin. You're an adventurer, yes? If you're not otherwise occupied, I have a favor to ask. I've resolved to repay a debt of gratitude which I owe to the owner of the coffer and coffin. For this purpose, I've purchased from the royal plantations a prodigiously plump pumpkin, a particularly popular piece of produce. Alas, I cannot part to this place to procure and proffer the pumpkin. You see, the scheduled shipment from the Nanawa mines, for which I wait, is late. I would prevail upon you to pick up the pumpkin in my stead and see it safely to the coffer and coffin. Present this receipt of purchase to Gagari at the royal plantations, and she will yield it to you. I apologize for asking you to attend to this time-consuming task, but I truly appreciate your assistance. Here is the royal plantation. It is we. Gagari. If CC Doa doesn't come calling soon, this spectacular specimen shall sadly be past its prime. Receipt of purchase. Hand over. Oh, so you're to deliver this decadent delight? I can say with confidence that any gourmand would be grateful for such a grand gift. Here's the pumpkin. I hope it meets with Roger's approval. Fresh produce is somewhat scarce in these parts, and as such we are always deluged with demands. Demand. You know the way to the coffer and coffin, correct? It's beyond the bridge to the northwest. Look for a place where local laborers lounge. The marker above that guy's head indicates that he starts a world event. But I'm not particularly interested in doing that at this particular moment. I am interested in squishing some oversized ants, though. Still working out the hotbar. I'm kidding. Over here. That's better. That is absolutely your mage. Whoa, this guy's a Rogadin over here. Some of their names are very Welsh sounding, and I'm not even going to try to pronounce them because my tongue is not trained to do that type of gymnastics. But some of them have names like this. Solid Trunk. Rendolent Rose is another one. My favorite though is Hoary Boulder. I love Hoary Boulder. He's fun. But we're here to talk to Roger. Drink for you, laddie. You won't get better ale or spirits for your kind than at me place. And over plantation pumpkin. What's that? We CC Doa asks you to bring this here to me. even that foul-mouthed drunk knows the meaning of remorse. I reckon this is for the time I carried his drink-sodden ass back home. What else? An honest-to-God's pumpkin from the royal plantations. I can't wait to see what the cooks will do with her. Well, that's your scoffed down beastly amounts of meat and it's starting to tell on their health. It'll be good to get more vegetables in their bellies. Assuming I can get this stubborn bastards to try something new. Thanks for the help, lad. And we got marmot steak for our trouble. Prudence at this junction. Roger hears all sorts of information in his line of work, some of which may be useful to you. Word has Blackbrush Station sorely undermanned. Stone Torch is there, can't get a moment of peace. Bloke by the name of Warren is hoping to bolster the numbers for a short-term assignment or two. If you fancy putting a few extra gil in your pocket, you could do a lot worse. We do need some gil, Roger, thank you. The bouncing snowman was a mount that you could get from a Christmas event. I think it was 2 Christmas events ago. I don't remember. Excellent, and we can talk to the Chocobo Keep here. Well met, traveler. Might I interest you in a Chocobo porter? Do not tell me this is your first visit to this stop. I shall update my register with your name so that you may access this location in the future. So, what this dude does is they allow us to rent one of these amazing birds to take us to places that we've visited. Like right now, I believe our only destination is Ul'dah. It does cost money, but it is a faster way to get around than just walking. And before I completely forget about it, we should attune to this here aetheryte. Teleport learned. Oh my. That sound you heard was all the letters that I didn't get in my last episode finally coming in. Oh boy. Alright, so we can put teleport on our hotbar now. I actually don't like your turn being there. You should go there. Cool. And talk to Warren. Looking for work perchance? If so, you couldn't have come at a better time. We Stone Torches are sellswords hired by Amajuna and Sons Mineral Concern to protect its interests. Our primary duty here is to keep the tracks clear of pests, and it is for this purpose that we require your aid. I should point out, however, that it can be messy work and liable to get messier still if you're ill-prepared. A single piece of gear can mean the difference between life and death. I'll not have it on my conscience that I sent an ill-equipped adventurer to an untimely demise. See to it that your arms and armor are in order. When you are ready, present yourself to me again. Equip your head, body, hands, legs, and feet with gear of item level 5 or above before returning to speak with Warren. So, I believe we can proceed with that. Yes, we can. Good, everything appears in order. Yet know that naught is guaranteed in this world. Fate is a fickle mistress, after all. At any rate, capable adventurers like you are few and far between, and I would not have you throw your life away. I have had to bury too many comrades who brushed aside cracks in their hauberks and dints in their helms. No matter what you face, do not disregard the importance of gear. And we can pick up this hempen actin, which is an increase to our stats. So, that was our introduction to item level. Item level is all important in this game. You can see it on our character sheet right here above our character's picture. The higher that is, the more things we can get into, and certain duties have a minimum requirement. So it's usually best practice to keep your gear in top form. Our gear does take durability damage, as what this blue bar next to the pieces are indicating. Blue means they're in peak condition, green means they're okay. I believe there's also yellow and red, and then it's broken. Broken gear does nothing for you, so you should almost never let your gear drop to red. There are menders around here, like this guy, who can repair your gear for a price. And if you have a crafter at the right level, you can also repair your own gear. There are benefits to that, because the mender will only repair your gear up to 100%, whereas you will repair your gear up to 200, can repair your gear for 200% durability. Or that's not like, you know, oh, my gear now has 200% durability. Like, if your gear is at like 64% when you repair it, it'll add 200% durability to that 64, which means that you're losing a little durability, if that makes sense. No, it subtracts the 64 from the 200. That's how it does. I got there in the end. Anywho, continuing with Warren. New weapon, nice. Out of house and home. Warren has work for an adventurer willing to exterminate the Koblins attacking ore wagons. That's how you say that, I think. Let's get to it then, shall we? Ore wagons pass through the station every day, but not without incident. Wagons coming and going from the dispatch yard to the south must pass through a tunnel by Fesca's watch. A tunnel in which some genius saw fit to put an ore storehouse, creating ideal conditions for a Koblin nest. So now the ore-loving beasts have taken up residence in a tunnel we dug, and we're practically delivering meals to their doorstep. But no more. Inside the tunnel in question, you will find a narrow fissure where the Koblins hide. Use the silver ore cluster to lure out the creatures, then slay them. Okay. So we just follow the train tracks, and eventually we will find... Yep, there's the tunnel. And once we get in there, we can take out the Koblins. Let us activate Iron Will. Right, that's what that does. I don't see a fissure, but this indicates that this glowing purple thing indicates that we have to place an item there or interact with it in some way. And by doing so, we will trigger a fight. There's the silver ore cluster going down. There's the Koblin. They're actually kind of cute. Weird looking, but cute. Alright, now we just have to run back to Warren. Pretty sure I'm pronouncing that wrong, but I don't care. Oh my god. I love the skybox in this game. It's quite pretty. But I find there are a lot of things about this game that are pretty. Like, a lot of people will complain about the design of the environments, but it's actually really, I think that's actually really well done. Each one has their own small details that make them different from the last. Alright, Warren. Well done. It shouldn't be easy work to keep the tunnel free of Copelands, but our wagons should be able to go unmolested for a time. Disruptions to our shipments threaten not only the interests of Almagina and Son's mineral concern, but of Ulda herself. One might even liken these train tracks to veins that bear our nation's lifeblood. If only we had more men like you to lend a hand. Thanks for the compliment. Can I have that sword now, please? Thank you. And another achievement, Storyteller 1. Complete 10 unique quests. Let's equip our Viking sword and talk to Zuzumida. Way down in the hole. Zuzumida wishes to share with you a most amazing rumor. The altruistic adventurer. I was hoping we'd bump into each other. Why? Because the most fascinating piece of news recently reached my ears, and I'm eager to share it. May I? Rumor has it that there's a vast, untapped vein of ore beneath the ruins of Sildi. But that is not all. Inconceivably, the concern appears to be entirely ignorant of its existence. And even as we speak, a young upstart, a self-made merchant from Stone's Throw of all places, is moving to claim it. The fellow's name is Wyston, and he is a very, very ambitious young man. Not only does he intend to secure exclusive excavation rights, but they say his master plan is to use his new fortune to curry favor with the Sacrarium. That's a word. Of course, the thaumaturges only consider the opinions of the most wealthy when drafting the laws of Ulda. If you would have your voice heard, you must be prepared to pay a sultan's ransom. One voice, which is invariably heard, belongs to Lord Lolorito. He has long lavished skill upon the thaumaturges, and some claim that he devises new laws with the express intention of ruining his competitors while protecting his own interests. Suffice to say, if Wyston thinks he can compete with the likes of the Syndicate, he is in for a rude awakening. But that eventuality may yet be a little way off. For the present, he is moving ahead with his plans and assembling a team to survey the site. I'm told he's at the Coffer and Coffin right now, recruiting able-bodied adventurers to escort his prospectors. Warren said you were looking for work. Mayhap you should meet Wyston and volunteer for his expedition. That is an excellent suggestion, but unfortunately I am out of time for the moment. I'm happy we were able to progress the story a little bit. We actually progressed it a fair amount. So, I would like to thank all of you for watching this video. If you liked it, leave a thumbs up, subscribe, ring the bell so you get notified whenever I upload any more videos like this. Leave a comment, share it with your friends, do all that fun YouTube stuff. I will see you all in the next video. Until then, be good people.